Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a proverb each day. I'm I'm laughing because um, we're going to try something at the end of the episode that I've been doing for another podcast, and the results are already making me laugh in a very special kind of way. So good to be with you this morning. We're going to be going through Proverbs chapter 8 today. Good morning, Robert. And we're going to be starting with a moment of prayer here. So let's do that. Father God, thank you so much for the joy that you give us and the wisdom that you share with us. And Father, this morning I ask that you would make our hearts joyful and jovial in thinking about the wisdom that you have given us and the way we can apply that to our lives. And we do pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Awesome. All right. I'm going to be laughing this whole time, and you're going to find out why. But I'm not going to reveal that yet. I'm not going to. Go there yet. Proverbs chapter 8 in the New International Version. Does not wisdom call out? Does not understanding raise her voice? At the highest point along the way where the paths meet, she takes her stand. I just realized something here. There we go. Yes. Okay. Verse 3, beside the gate leading into the city, at the entrance, she cries aloud. To you, O people, I call out. I raise my voice to all mankind. You who are simple, gain prudence. You who are foolish, set your hearts on it. Hebrew says, those who are foolish, instruct your minds. Okay. Makes sense. Verse 6, listen, for I have trustworthy things to say. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true, for my lips detest wickedness. All the words of my mouth are just. None of them is crooked or perverse. To the discerning, all of them are right. They are upright to those who have found knowledge. Choose my instruction instead of silver, knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her. I like this. The call is more of a call to action. And like I said, we're contrasting that with yesterday a little bit as far um, as a couple of points. One is she's not hiding here; she's calling out. She's calling out to everyone, but she's not like lurking in the corners. She's at the very entrance, the gates, the highest point along the way. She's finding people. She's seeking them out and calling to all mankind. So yeah, it is something where yeah, there's already um, uh, a contrast there, but then there's also the all my words are all the words of my mouth are just, none of them is crooked or perverse. In other words, she's painting a distinction between the adulteress and her. So they're both calling out in the streets, essentially, both seeking out people, but her motives are different. Her results are different. Um, and then, of course, choosing the instruction instead of silver and knowledge rather than choice gold. And this week, I actually recorded a podcast episode for my IT audience. Unfortunately, had some production issues, but so I'll have to redo it. But the message is to invest in yourself, and kind of spoiler alert in terms of when it comes to investments and things like that. You know, whether it's stocks or real estate or gold or silver or cryptocurrency these days and all these kind of things you can be investing in. Honestly, I've been examining all of these investments that I've been doing in all these areas for the last, I would say 15, 20 years. And hands down, the thing that has made me the most money is investing into myself. And so if I just invest like 3% of my annual income, for example, back into my own growth, back into my own learning, then I'm able to do more with that. And I have knowledge that makes it so that my time is more valuable, makes it so that my results are better, or that I have results that I couldn't have even gotten before, those sort of things. Those are the kind of things that happen when you invest in yourself. And so there's lots of things that I've been able to do as a result of that that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. You know, what we're doing here. I mean, publishing books, all these kind of things that I've done, I wouldn't have been able to do if I hadn't invested in myself and learned processes and always trying to improve the way things are done and that sort of thing. It is something where that's why I encourage verse 10 and 11 here. Wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you can desire is more than that. And the reason is that you actually end up with more. It's a better investment in choosing knowledge, instruction, and wisdom. So just FYI on that. Let's move on to verse 12. I, wisdom, dwell together with prudence. I possess knowledge and discretion. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, evil behavior and perverse speech. Counsel and sound judgment are mine. I have insight, I have power. By me kings reign, and rulers issue decrees that are just. By me princes govern, and nobles who rule all the earth. So some manuscripts say all righteous rulers. Okay. Verse 17, I love all those who love me, and those who seek me find me. Not a mystery, in other words. With me are riches and honor, enduring wealth and prosperity. My fruit is better than fine gold. What I yield surpasses choice silver. Again, what I was just saying. I walk in the way of righteousness, along paths of justice, bestowing a rich inheritance on those who love me, making their treasuries full. I think that's another key here. Again, it's one of many passages that points to the way that God views abundance and wealth as a result that it's almost like it can't be helped. And so that is a inheritance that is bestowed upon us because we're ready to deal with it, basically. So, um, verse 22: the Lord brought me forth as the first of His works. There's two footnotes on this: or way or dominion. First of His ways or dominion, I guess. Or it could be said the Lord possessed me at the beginning of His work, or the Lord brought me forth at the beginning of His work. Okay. Okay. For His deeds of old. I was formed long ago at the very beginning when the world came to be. Sorry. When there were no watery depths, I was given birth. When there were no springs overflowing with water, before the mountains were settled in place, before the hills, I was given birth. Before before He made the world or its fields or any of the dust of the earth, I was there to set when He set the heavens in place. When He marked out the horizon on the face of the deep, when He established the clouds above and fixed securely the fountains of the deep. Apologies. Distractions. Let's see. when he gave the sea its boundary so the waters could not overstep his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was constantly at his side, or was the little child or artisan at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in his presence, rejoicing in the whole world and delighting in mankind. Let's talk about that for a second. So, this can be a little bit confusing or daunting, but the notion here is that wisdom is there before creation. And that means that wisdom was a part of the creation process, but that creation was constrained to wisdom. It has a system in place, it has a design. Um, I know the modern world is trying to make this out to be that it's some system of chaos, but even their own scientific method proves out that there are constants and ways systems way these things work that seem chaotic when you're in it, but when you zoom out, then you see it. Uh, I'll give you an example. When it comes to things like discussing global warming, something that we're observing in a very small part of history of this planet. And we make assumptions and we try to take actions thinking that we can impact a system that has been in place long before us and will survive, would survive long after us. In fact, there are those that wonder about that when it comes to the Revelation and the time of Armageddon and all those kind of things. Will that be the Earth, us continuing on past the Earth, and the Earth continues, which is an interesting theory. I think it's something that I believe, like people like C.S. Lewis held and things like that. It's an interesting thing to think about, that the system continues without mankind surviving it. It's an interesting notion. I don't get too far into that. It doesn't really matter for our daily lives. What matters is that we have a system that has been put in place because of wisdom. And if we're not living by wisdom, we're trying to get outside of that system, and it's just not going to make any sense. It's not going to work. All right. So that's the thing about that. And to realize that if we are then living in wisdom, then we are accessing that power that is previous to creation. In other words, it is above that. And that to me is very, very powerful and hard to truly get your mind around. So it is something where, it takes some study. So, verse 32. Now then, my children, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my instruction and be wise. Do not disregard it. Blessed are those who listen to me, watching daily at my doors, waiting at my doorway. For those who find me find life and receive favor from the Lord. But those who fail to find me harm themselves. All who hate me love death. There's some good stuff here. This is just like I mentioned this yesterday that it's one of my favorite chapters of Proverbs, just because it's rich in imagery and poetry. Frankly, something we'll be exploring here in a few minutes. But there's also just a lot of things in terms of practical instruction as well, of saying, look, this is a priority, and it's a priority because this was the formation of the world. This was like it was a priority for God. So it should be a priority for us, not to walk in the moment or the emotions. Did you catch that? Did that when it comes to talking about wisdom, emotion is a after, not a before. So when it comes to that, emotion is a result of our our actions, our decisions, and our decisions are before that is wisdom or not wisdom. I am it's really my screen is backwards for you, so I need to be doing this uh differently, like starting over here and ending over here. Uh but anyway, I hope that's not confusing to you. But that is a big piece of that. So well, I'll tell you what, let's go into a cross reference here, and see what else we can glean from that process. And I'm going to start with the ESV this morning. This is very similar. Instruction instead of silver, knowledge rather than choice gold. It's very, very almost the same word for word. Actually, yeah, this is very close. I do like this though in the ESV. Do not neglect it. Disregard it is one way to say it, but I guess I resonate with neglecting it more because it's more of an active. It implies activity, not just being something that's there and okay. And so I got that wisdom, so I'm good. No, it's a practice. You shouldn't be neglecting it. Um, and all who hate me love death. That also is true there. Good stuff there. All right, well, one more. Let's try the amplified. See what else we get out of that. I think with the amplified, that can expand this quite a bit. I think. Understand prudence and seek astute common sense. Wow, that's impressive. And you, oh closed-minded, self-confident fools. uh, Seek the insight into self-discipline that leads to godly living. Oh, okay, cool. Uh, yeah. So there's the contrast to the harlot or the adulteress. And 13, reverent fear, worshipful of the Lord includes the hatred of evil. Yeah, that's good. And like I said, yeah, the amplified is obviously much more verbose. I was daily his delight. I like that too. Yeah, I like it. That's a good cross reference. But I tell you what, we are going to, before we close out today, hang out with me for about 10 more minutes, because I have something that I think you might enjoy. And that is that we're going to have AI compose a song for us about Proverbs 8. So we'll choose two of these, and then you can tell me which one you like more. Like I said, this is a fun little thing that I've been doing for my other podcasts. And I'm like, you know what? Let's try that out this morning and see how this goes. So actually I need to change how this is done here for a second. so I can actually get the audio across. Here we go. Okay, so I had it. I just simply said a yacht rock style song about Proverbs 8. That's the prompt. That's it. And so it in the background, I guess, went out and probably got the. I'm guessing the King James version of it and made a song out of it. Wisdom calling out from high places, standing in the gates of the door. Let's just listen along here and let's see what this came up with. So this is the first of the two. I can't wait for this.
Wisdom calling out from high places, standing by the gates and the doorways, crying out to all who will listen. Seek truth among the crowded hallways. Riches and honor in her left hand, peace and understanding in her right. Her path leads onward to life's promise, shining bright under the moonlight. Hear the voice of wisdom's song, feel the whisper on the breeze. Turn away from foolish ways, find the treasures of the sea. She was there at the world's foundation, before the ocean started flowing, crafted with the breath of creation, a light where the dark winds blowing. Seek her out in times of shadow, find her voice within the stillness, grasp her truth among the chaos, hold on tight to her boundless kindness. Listen up, these sons of mortals, choose the path of life and blessing. Turn your ears to wisdom's calling, live the truth that she's professing.
Uh, okay, so that's the first one. And so what will happen now is it'll go through a second rendition of the song, usually using the same lyrics. Let's let's see what we get on this one.
Wisdom calling up from high places, standing by the gates and the doorways, crying out to all who will listen. See truth among the crowded hallways. Riches and honor in her left hand, peace and understanding in her right. Her path leads onward to life's promise, shining bright under the moonlight. Hear the voice of wisdom's song, feel the whisper on the breeze. Turn away from foolish ways, find the treasures of the seas. She was there at the world's foundation, before the ocean started flowing, crafted with the birth of creation, a light where the dark winds blowing. Seek her out in times of shadow, find your voice within the stillness, sons of mortals. Choose the path of life and blessing. Turn your ears to wisdom's calling. Live the truth that she's professing. Hear the voice of wisdom's song. Feel the whisper on the breeze. Turn away from foolish ways. Find the treasures of the seas. She was there at the world's foundation, before the ocean started flowing. Crafted with the birth of creation, a light where the dark winds blowing. Seek her out in times of shadow, find her voice within the stillness. Grasp her truth among the chaos, hold on tight to her boundless kindness.
Wow. All right. What do you think? Which one did you like better? One or two? I'm curious. Not bad for just a couple of words, 40 characters, and all of a sudden you get a full song out of that. That's it's pretty impressive what can be done these days, isn't it? But is it as good as humans? Of course not. That's not the point. But anyway, hope this was some fun for you. Hope it was fun. And honestly, yeah, if this is something you want to do more of, I am very open to it. This is an investment I've been thinking about making anyway in this service, and so this would help me make more of it if I did. So if that's something you're interested in, I can start pursuing that. So I just thought it'd be fun for the day. So in any case, I do hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I do appreciate you sharing what we're doing here. And hey, if we can do things like this to make it more fun and make it more interesting, I am all for it. Whatever it takes to get wisdom back into people's lives, because y'all, we desperately, desperately need it. So feel free to share what we're doing here and help me out with that. And all it takes is a little reminder every day for people. So I do appreciate it. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. So be blessed by the best, and then go be a blessing to all the rest. Love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Even though it's a Saturday, we're going full steam ahead. More Proverbs, because we do this every single day. See you then. Bye now.